So today's a little bit different. I love talking to filmmakers, and I get to talk today to my friend, Alaina Viau, about her experiences working in film and becoming a filmmaker. So we're going to talk to you today about inspirational things that she's learned on the craft of filmmaking and how she incorporates it into her workflow. So let's roll. Those are amazing questions. Okay, so let's take it away. What inspired you to start filmmaking and editing?
So I'm an opera stage director, and in 2018 is when I started incorporating cameras onto the stage and doing live camera to projection. The company that I'm executive artistic director of, Loose Tea Music Theatre, we produced a new version of Carmen called Carmen, Yes All Women, which is Carmen told from the female perspective. The thing about what we do as women are actually small things, because we don't want to make it overt to the person that is potentially threatening us. So things like keys between the fingers, or a text to a friend, and all those things you're not going to see from the stage. So I thought, how can I pull that focus and make sure that the focus is on those things and on the women in general in the production, because when the tenor is singing, you're going to be looking at the tenor on stage. You can't get away from that. But then you don't catch what the other people on stage are doing, which are the women. What is Carmen doing? What is Michaela doing? What are the women around them doing? So the cameras were employed as a way to pull focus and actually pull attention to the small things that women do in general and normal interactions. So going from then looking at employing it on the stage, and then we end up in a pandemic and everything has to be on camera, and that was a very natural then switch for me to go, all right, let's get behind the camera then. I have been a technician, I am not afraid, and a production manager, so I am not afraid of technical things, and in fact I kind of get joy in being uncomfortable. I think that might be something I do frequently all the time, is like, how can I feel more uncomfortable with myself? And that means that I'm growing and discovering new things. So it was quite natural to then grab the camera and get behind it. And being a director, a stage director, and having already worked with cameras, I was already starting to see things in frames, and I think that's how maybe a lot of filmmakers start seeing things, is like you start seeing things in frames and you start seeing perspectives and how light can be caught, and I realized I was starting to see things like that, and I'm like, well, I think I can get behind the camera, I think I can create some cool things, and I've loved the journey. So going from stage then into camera, actually one of the biggest things that I've found to be useful is my lighting experience.
Oh, so true.
My lighting experience. So I have worked with a number of lighting technicians who have taught me and learned like that technical side, but also like watching my brilliant lighting designers. And that was the thing that I think really helped me moving to film, because I already understood lighting. I could highlight certain things in a scene, but also how natural light is beautiful and wonderful, but still needs to have some control. So I think lighting was a big thing that I immediately understood and knew and could translate from the stage into the camera. That might be something that new filmmakers maybe don't understand as much about, that lighting is so important. And it still holds true in the camera as it does on stage, which is that you can make a brilliant production out of lighting and costumes.
Yeah.
If you have incredible lighting, great costumes, and incredible direction, you can have an incredible production. And that actually holds true to the camera as well. You can get away with a very inexpensive production. That's gonna, like, you can do an incredibly cheap shot but make it look great.
So all filmmakers have their go-to camera, and what is your go-to camera? Because I'm going to talk to you about what inspires you working with the magical, well, it is a magic in its name, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema.
Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about it.
So I have to say that I got my start with a camera in my hands from a very great friend of mine, Patrick Hagarty. He's also a filmmaker, and he was wonderful. He kind of just gave me his gear, gave me an hour lesson, and I memorized everything he said. And this was the first thing that was in my hand. the experience of the Blackmagic camera has been so easy to learn, and this incredible huge screen that it has on the back.
It's a big screen, eh?
Everything's right here though. Like I don't have to learn menus, you know, and I'm used to menus, but they're so frustrating to learn, like where is that again? And it's all right here. It's all at your fingertips, literally. You can change things incredibly quickly. So the ISO, your shutter speed, and it was a very beautiful experience with it. First off, I felt very nervous for my first shoot, and I felt like it was helping me. From then, I did try some other cameras. I've been trying different lenses. It's great at Vistech here in Toronto. You can rent whatever you want or need and spend time setting it up and getting frustrated and seeing what you like and and learning what you like as well. Like I just, I went on the internet and was like, sure, I'll try that lens, and then was like, oh, I don't like that lens after working with it. But that's part of learning, and I'm happy to say that this is now my own Blackmagic camera. So I have jumped onto that brand, and I'm really happy and excited to explore more with the camera at my home and in my hand. So what's been nice about buying the camera now, because this can segue, so from actually having the Blackmagic design as my base camera now, I can do a lot of experimentation with different lenses and find out more about what I like and more what will capture different feelings and different types of intentions through the camera. Dealing with opera, it's, what are we doing, like a staged version, or are we doing a completely filmed version, like film of an opera, or are we doing a staged film of an opera? And those require different things. So it's going to be fun to do some more experimentation with the different lenses and the different gear that I can now get for my base camera.
Oh, let's start with the rig. Oh boy, you can build on a rig.
And even looking at like now what kind of Steadicam do I want? That's also the next thing. And I tried some gimbals, but also with the Blackmagic design, it's quite wide. So it actually doesn't fit on most gimbals, but I also found that gimbals are quite heavy for me. So because of my disability, my right hand, actually I lose function in my right hand, and I have sometimes a bit of a tremor in my right hand, and having more weight on my right hand is not a good thing.
Exactly.
So I've tried the gimbals, besides just frustratingly trying to get this balanced, and because you have to add another section so that it actually fits onto a gimbal, I've now started looking at the Steadicams, and with the weight system underneath it, and I think that actually might be better for my arm and weight wise, but I think it actually is what I'm going to want as a filmmaker, as a look. Yeah, that like more kind of natural organic look, I think, is what my general aesthetic is anyways. And that's what actually my aesthetic is as a director on stage, as you know, Stephen. From the few times that Stephen has been on stage with me, I tend to go for like, what is the natural feeling? How is this like an organic experience on stage, which is actually hard to do, and to find out what that natural and organic experience is. But I realize that that's also what I want through the camera, is an organic and natural experience with art and an interpretation, but more of that organic feel.
What would you recommend to anyone starting out in filmmaking, what they should do? Should they get a certain kind of camera? Should they go for a certain kind of look? Like, what would you say to somebody starting out for the very first time, and then go?
Right. So first of all, be very comfortable with being uncomfortable and being slightly scared, because that's what it's going to be, and that's okay. It means that you're trying something new, and that's exciting. I would say, if you have a friend that has, some gear, who's willing to give you a lesson or let you borrow it, great. If you don't have a friend, that's fine too. Just go and rent something and just start trying stuff. That's really how you're going to find out what you like. You can also, there's tons of resources online. There are so many YouTube channels with this gear, that gear, things that people are really passionate about, and you can start to, decide, oh, maybe I want to try that. Maybe I want to try this type of gear. There's so many videos out there you can just start watching, and the information is literally right there. So I would say just start renting some stuff. See what you like, experiment. You're gonna have some troubles at first. You're gonna be a little frustrated, but if you just take a breath and realize that that's part of your process of becoming a filmmaker, then you'll be fine.
So there you have it. That's our interview featuring Alaina Viau and her exciting experiences working in film. So if you are interested in film, if you have questions about film, please hit that like and comment button below and the subscribe button and all that fun stuff that YouTube does for you to follow our channel. And until next time, grab a camera. If you're inspired, take some video because you never know where it might lead you. Cheers.